This is one of those, I have a friend who has a friend who wants to know the answer to this question. I have a friend. I am curious about that too. I don't know if the Ohio Traffic Safety Office is looking into that. That's something that may fall under some of their research, and that's something that NHTSA may weigh in on. But that's certainly something I'd like to research and find out the answer for you. I've only been here 5 weeks. I don't know everything yet. Oh, yes.
Hi, me again. Megan Katz from Brush High School.
It's Megan who's this table spokesperson back there.
Yeah, sure. I know a lot of students at my school are very concerned about swine flu. Like if someone coughs, they'll think that they have swine flu. So I was wondering if there's anything that would be done to kind of clarify for any students that are kind of curious as to how you can kind of avoid getting the swine flu and kind of clarifying what it is.
There are a lot of precautions you can take right now. Unfortunately, schools are a breeding ground for germs. Everyone's in close contact. You've got gym classes, you've got sports. It's good hygiene, and it's being diligent. It's making sure you have access to hand sanitizer, and almost every time you shake hands, hug, touch, that you use that hand sanitizer. In and out of the bathroom, use the hand sanitizer because germs are on that door. What people don't know is I've been told that the H1N1 virus can live on a surface for a week and a half. It's pretty resilient. So by the time you know you've got it, you probably have already spread it and been exposed to it in other ways. We're telling people cough in your sleeve, always in a Kleenex or a napkin or a paper towel or a handkerchief is best. But if you don't have that, your sleeve is the next best thing. And the governor actually got on TV and was demonstrating coughing in your sleeve a couple weeks ago at the press conference. A lot of the H1N1 is not being diagnosed because you're going to treat the regular flu the same way that you treat the H1N1. So if you have the flu, you can maybe be safe to just act like it's H1N1 and take all the precautions and everything you need to do, including staying home, trying to limit your contact with people until you get past the critical stage. So we are also running into those same issues when you have a workplace full of people. We've ordered a whole lot of hand sanitizer at Public Safety for people. We're making sure that the troopers out on the road have hand sanitizer because they come into contact with people every day. So the same thing is just make sure you're really diligent in your hygiene, not coughing on people, limiting a lot of handshaking. I mean, the big thing I heard now is like the elbow bump. Instead of handshaking or this is even a little bit better. But I was told that President Obama actually has a person that walks behind him with the hand sanitizer because he shakes so many people's hands during a day that when he stops, it goes on. Because needless to say, we need to keep our president healthy. So it's good common sense practices. There's really nothing more you can do beyond what you would normally do during flu season. Just be a little bit more diligent about it.
Hi, my name is Zoya Alam from Brunswick High School. I was just wondering, what are the consequences for texting and driving now in Cleveland?
I don't know Cleveland's law, so I can't tell you. The concern is that we have at the state level, and why there's an interest in doing a statewide law is because you can drive from Cleveland to Cleveland Heights, and you've got two different laws. And the joke is outside of Cleveland, I could start my text message, put my phone down on the other side of Cleveland, I could pick it back up and get going again unless I'm in another jurisdiction, and how are you to know what the laws are? That's why I think they're looking at some kind of comprehensive statewide law so it's everywhere, and you don't have to worry about where the jurisdictions end and begin. I know in Cuyahoga County there's like 56 different jurisdictions. So how's anyone supposed to know what the law is in each different jurisdiction? So that's why they're looking at a statewide law.
Hi, I'm Erin Mann from Hathaway Brown, and I was wondering, how do the police, if they pull you over for texting, how do they know that you're texting? How do they definitely know? Because I don't know, some of my friends have the iPhone and they could be changing their music, but it looks like they're texting. So how do you make sure you're texting?
Well, now you're welcome Welcome to the devil's in the details of a piece of legislation. And that's the type of things that they're having to deal with, is defining what texting is, what other types of dealing with electronic device could be like texting that maybe they need to look at outlawing also. I mean, everyone's kind of jumped on this texting while driving tag when it goes so much further. And when you ask about how law enforcement can tell, it's an investigative secret now. You know, there could be ways that they could tell. I mean, it's as a secondary, it's going to be difficult to enforce, but it's enforceable. But it's one of those that it's no secret. It's going to be difficult to enforce. So, and people will find ways around it. But heaven forbid you get in an accident and they can prove it's because you were texting, because now you've got a bigger component on top of it.
I was wondering what the difference is between the H1N1 flu and the regular flu. And also, is the H1N1 flu that much worse than regular flu, or is it more of a media stunt?
I'm not a doctor, so I'll preface it with I don't have a medical background or a medical degree. But from what I've been told in my position is they're both a flu. The problem with all of you versus all of me, and Mike, I'm going to throw that in there too, is that we've come up over our years, and every year we've had to deal with the seasonal flu, and we have built up antibodies against it, where you haven't been around that long to do that. So that's why everyone was encouraged at your age especially to get a regular flu shot, and then when you can get the H1N1 vaccine, to get that on top of it. To help you, I always stress with people every year, especially when you think there's going to be a different strain of the flu coming around, go get a regular flu shot, because sometimes where the fatalities occur is you get the regular flu, and then before you over it, you're going to get the H1N1, and that's what causes people to go to the hospital and sometimes become terminal in that type of situation. So your age group, this is one of those times it's great to be older. We've got the antibodies that you don't to be able to fight it. And there is, it's not a media stunt, believe me. There's a lot of money being put into this for it, if it was just a media stunt, and it's not. I mean, the numbers are they're increasing daily in the deaths, and the deaths are young people. They're actually starting to see that, although they thought older people were safe, that there are some older people getting it, and it's resulting in death for them also. So it's what we call a pandemic flu, which means it's just spreading everywhere all across the country. So there's a lot of resources being put towards it to take care of trying to educate people, get people the flu vaccine, get people the H1 vaccine, and then educating people on what the precautions are to deal with it.
Hi, my name is Kayla Pincus from Shaker Heights High School. I was wondering if it was true that hand sanitizer can actually be more harmful than helpful. I know that there's this idea that it kills 99% of germs, but that 1% apparently is like reproduces and then makes it sort of more harmful. I was wondering if you knew anything about that.
I haven't heard that, Kayla. It's the first I've heard that bit of information. I'll check in. Biology teacher. I'll check into that. That's an interesting tidbit that I have not heard. I do know that there are different degrees of hand sanitizer, and you want to get the one with the most alcohol in it. Be careful what, just be cautious what you're buying, and don't rely on something if it's not strong enough.
Hi, I was wondering what your thoughts on sexting was.
Oh, that's a loaded question. I do know our Office of Criminal Justice Services is dealing with that, because that is a form of domestic violence, juvenile violence, family violence, a form of violence in the criminal world. And it's being looked at that, but it's a relatively new phenomenon that's being studied. I don't think it's illegal yet. They're looking at some, it depends on your age. It depends what the picture is. It depends of the age of the person who's in the picture and the person who sends the picture. If one's an adult, if the sender is, the taker and sender is an adult and the person that's in the picture is a juvenile, it could be a felony.